Okay, so what we have is Norkan 200 epoxy. There's also the original color chips, clear coat on top. You can see all this brown looking stuff. And those are actually bubbles that have burst. So if we go down to there's a bubble right here. And if we go ahead and penetrate that, you see that it's a amber looking liquid that comes out of the bubble. I'll go ahead and get another hole in there like that. And when it dries, it turns into this salt-like structure. All right. The more it dries, the browner it gets. I've got some dark amber spots. They're maybe the oldest here. So that's it's still water-like on the bottom. Get that there. So you've got this, and if you break it up, it just turns this one's really old, but it just kind of chunks up into, back into that. If you do the lighter brown will actually turn back into water almost looking. But yeah, almost a completely crystalline structure. So this one, oh, that's a good flake there. And you still got this massive pocket underneath. I don't know if he's still producing fresh liquid or not. It started over in the corner here. And this was the first one. Is about 2 months after install. I got my very first bubble. It's quite odd. My wife and I, we stared at it wondering, should we do anything about it or not? It was just one bubble. And so now we're about 6 months after the installation of the Norkan product. And it is obviously beneath the epoxy as well. It's not a clear coat issue, it's underneath the epoxy. We're in San Diego, California, if that helps anything. So we've got, you can see these two. So that's a fresh amber liquid here, right? Like that. So there. Oh man, I just sprayed it's shooting out of there. So I try to keep up with them because oh man, I just sprayed myself in the face. With this amber liquid. So obviously we are not very happy. That one's enormous, so you can see how much pressure. I've been coming out here maybe once a week, trying to figure out, okay, yeah, that's gooey. Try to figure out how to best prevent them from just ripping up the entire floor. Based on, if these don't purge, if you don't have somewhere to go, like this one's probably as big as I'd ever want to let one get. And I guess I missed him. They do blend in really well. So he's actually stretched out. Unfortunately, he's stretched out. So I don't know how he's not in a situation to get sunlight either. So he's not gonna tighten back down. That's an entire bubble there. So hopefully that, but some of these I can't get to without moving the washer and dryer. There's one there too, just coming from the side. Oh man, that's a lot of liquid. So anyway, this is the salt rust nightmare that I'm living. In case anyone has any theories on how to correct this, just to give you a quick breakdown. Ground the floor, removed about, 40 to 60 pounds of material off the floor in grinding. Took it all the way down, smooth, washed, mopped, swept, dried for 3 days. Did the little moisture test to make sure we were all good before applying the epoxy, and then the top coat of polyurethane was added maybe about 2 weeks, I want to say maybe a week after the epoxy dried. It's a Norkan 200 with the original color chips, and then the original Color Chips company clear coat polyurethane on top. And as you can tell, zero benefit from doing so other than lots of hours of work and zero benefit. The only thing I like is that I did the footers of the concrete. Those don't have a single bubble or blister. I'm very, pleased with that. Outside of that, love to see what anyone comes up with, because I'd love to redo it. I don't have any problem redoing it. This stuff's not that expensive. But I don't want to redo it and live this nightmare again. So if anyone, again, the manufacturer came back, said, "Oh, so sorry, there's nothing that you could do. The brown in this is the rebar, like the rebar and salt or something like that coming out of the ground table, and that the only way to do something about it is French drains around the side of the house, like to remove the water table." I'm in San Diego. There's not, if you dig, you're probably not going to get to water, honestly, but not say you won't get to some. But I'm in the middle of, right now is August 4th, and so it hasn't rained at this time about 4 months, like really from having a rain. If you don't do active sprinklers, you're not going to have grass. I don't use my sprinklers very often, so it's not a situation where I'm flooding out the floor myself. But would love anyone who's got experience. It'd be really awesome to know what your opinion is on this salt nightmare, what you would do next. Ideally, it's not hire a contractor. I'm not against it. I really like home projects. I was really excited for this one. Obviously, I didn't do a good job, but if it's a matter of grinding the concrete again or putting in a vapor barrier, I've heard something about that as well. But anyway, would love your guys' opinion. Be really, really helpful to me. Thanks. I'm Matthew in San Diego, California.